Okay, so spring is nearly here, and that must mean that it's nearly time for Watches and Wonders and find out all the new releases at that show and all the peripheral shows that the non-participating brands like Omega and Breitling will try and steal the thunder from Watches and Wonders and those other brands. So let's have a bit of fun and make some predictions. I'm Andy, and welcome to the English Watch. Now this channel is about me and my watch collecting journey, an amateur enthusiast with an eye for detail, helping like-minded individuals like you start your watch collecting journey. Now if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe. Let's try and get 10,000 subscribers over the next month. Why not? Come on. I've also changed the description in the bottom of this video, so there's only one link in there now, and that takes you to my Linktree account, which has all my links in there. To the website, to the Instagram, to my Amazon page, so you can go and check out my Amazon store. It's got the merch in there. There's also some merch at the bottom of the YouTube window, so have a look in there. There's mugs, t-shirts, hoodies, you never know. A little English Watch logo on your shirt. I might even get one myself. Anyway, you may have noticed, before we get on to the content, that there's a new ornament in the back. That is the Lego Saturn V rocket that has made its way down from my son's bedroom down into my office. Now, we were tidying his bedroom out. He's cleared off to university. I thought, well, he doesn't need a Saturn V rocket up there. Collecting dust. Should be here with the mighty astronauts. Yeah. The old Ed White and old Neil Armstrong there. Good company. Now, one of the followers of the channel, Josh, is hosting the Watch It Watch Fair in Warwickshire on the 18th of February. Sadly, I'm not able to make it, but please check it out. I mean, it's great to have watch events in the Midlands of England. There isn't many around, so go and please support that. You can get some tickets. I'll leave a link in the description to the website, but Watch It Watch Fair. Go check it out. Now, before we get into the meat and potatoes, I'm going to show you my watch. So I'm wearing my Speedmaster Professional, and it's on this North Street strap. Now this one's called the Grampton. North Street are an American handmade strap company. Go check them out. Again, link in the description below. Right, so what we're going to talk about today is rumours, watch releases for 2023. Now we're going to talk about Tudor, we're going to talk about IWC, Omega and Rolex, the brand everyone loves to hate. Now what I've done, I haven't scripted this, I've made some notes on my iPad. I'm just going to run through my thoughts for the year, and this is a bit of a wish list, to be honest. Because nobody really knows what's going to happen. Now there is a couple of rumours that I've heard that there's some things in here, but they're still only rumours. So let's start with Tudor. Now Tudor had a strong 2022. They had the Black Bay Pro, they had the Pelagus 39. Both really cool watches. Still think the GMTs are a bit too thick. I think making the Pro a 39mm made it more sort of hockey puckish, so the aspect ratio was a bit wrong. But people love that watch. I think from a dial perspective it is pretty cool. But my thoughts are, so the Black Bay 41 range. So the 41 range is the regular Black Bay. Been around since about 2016. It was the range that sort of launched the Black Bays back in 2012, I think, with the ETA movements. They took the in-house in 2016, and they went a bit chunky and thick and lost their little smiley face text on the bottom of the dial. I think we'll need the new T-Fit clasp. So the T-Fit clasp is on the new watches that Tudor are releasing, so there's no reason they wouldn't read that back into the 41 for the steel bracelets anyway. Maybe some dial colour combinations. You've got the red and the blue and the black. Maybe they'll sort of funky it up a bit. Obviously there's the Harrods version as well, which is pretty popular. We'll see. Now maybe also, because on the S&G you've got the date model, maybe they'll do a date version, maybe with or without a Cyclops. You never know. You never know. Will they go from aluminium bezel inserts to ceramic? I don't know. Don't think so. But I guess as those prices creep up, there's less and less justification for not doing it. We'll see. Maybe titanium. Maybe they'll do a titanium version. But there will definitely be no Tudor Submariner. They'll just be a Black Bay version of that, in my view. Now, the Black Bay GMT. So again, a watch I had for a good few years. Really enjoyed it. Out since 2018. Probably due a bit of a midlife facelift. There's a few things that I didn't like about the bracelet. Didn't like the clasp. It was well made. It had the ceramic balls in it, but it desperately needs that T-fit clasp. Micro adjustment. I could never get it comfortable. One of the reasons I got rid of it in the end. So clasp upgrade, and maybe a bit of a differentiator for the model here on the dial. Maybe make those indices a bit bigger. Yeah, move more towards the regular Black Bay 41 where they've got slightly larger indices. I think it just looks a bit better. We'll see. And then the random one. What's the random Tudor model for this year? Well, who knows? But with the with brands bringing more and more integrated bracelet watches in, maybe they'll bring the North Flag back. That was sort of an integrated bracelet watch. It was pretty cool. It had the power reserve on the front as well. It has the same sort of hour marker as the Ranger, so maybe they'll do something different with the hour markers, because I don't think I didn't really like the hour marker, to be honest. But there you go, North Flag. Let's go with that. Could be anything, though, couldn't it? Could be anything. Yeah, they've got all those sort of dressy watches as well. We'll see. Maybe they'll do a Datejust type homage. We'll see. Right, IWC. Now, IWC, very close to my heart. I don't own one yet. Not yet. Maybe soon. We'll see. Now, last year we got the big Pilot chronograph ceramic models. So we had the Woodlands and the Tahoe. That's on green and the white. Maybe the ceramic will make its way down into the 41. So the 41s are starting to create more volume in the catalogue. More colourways. They introduced a black dial recently. I do like the Ceratanium, a bit pricey, but a ceramic version would be pretty cool. Could be pretty cool. Now, I also think that there'll be a bit of a revamp to the Spitfire range. So the Spitfire range has been out since 2019 and will probably benefit from things like the new quick release strap and bracelet that IWC do. So I could see that reading into the Spitfire range. Whether they'll change the range wholesale or substantially, I'm not sure. Because they are still based on the 41 size, form factor. Maybe they'll update the dials a little bit. We'll see. I mean, IWC do tend to do quite a lot around Watches and Wonders. There'll be some pretty cool releases, I'm pretty sure. One of which potentially is the new Engineer. So I did hear on, I think it was the Fratello podcast, that best kept secret in town, they say. And if you hang around with those guys, then you're bound to hear stuff. So they were saying that the integrated bracelet Engineer will come back. I think the version that's there at the moment is a little bit boring. We'll see. It's a different proposition to the Milgauss, which is another technician's watch. The Engineer is a bit more industrial, a bit more, I guess, Germanic in its design, but popular nonetheless. Was very popular. So it'd be good to see that one back. Now moving on to my favourite brand, Omega. Yes, I said Omega. Is it Omega? Omega. I say Omega. I've said it for years. I can't not say it. There you go. You can't make me either. Omega. Right. So they had a strong start. So January is normally Speedmaster month, or is of late. So we had the Super Racing with the Spy Rate balance adjustment. Now, a bit of a Marmite watch, a bit of an oddball, but they've released the technology now. So whether you like the watch or you don't like the watch, that technology is going to come. Now, will it find its way into other calibers in other models? I guess we'll see. Maybe they'll leave it a year, just to let the technology bed in a little bit. Now, it is the 75th anniversary of the Seamaster. First released in 1948, and they did the 1948 70th anniversaries a few years ago, which was a nice watch. There's two. I think there's a centre seconds and a small seconds version, which they were nice. Yeah, they were nice. Bit chunky though, because they were automatics. Now, I'm not saying they'll do an anniversary watch, but Omega do like 5th anniversaries. So they did like the 35th Speedy and the 45th Snoopy. I don't know why. So 5th, 65th, 75th. Yeah, why not? Now, what could we get? We could get a slightly slimmer manual wind version of those watches, maybe. But when I was sort of perusing through all of the Seamasters, you sort of like to look at, what's in the range now, what could they do? And I found, I didn't know it was there, a boutique only Seamaster, red dial, 39mm. I think that looked pretty cool. Pretty cool. Hadn't seen that before. I'll put a picture up. Right, so my wish list for Omega. Wish list time. So Aquaterra. I like an Aquaterra. My first proper luxury watch was a Seamaster 120, which was the predecessor to the Aquaterra. If only I'd waited another year, I could have had an Aquaterra. I'd probably still have it. But I want to see a GMT. We had one before, albeit on a 43mm. We had the annual calendar as well. Now, I think if they take a leaf out of the Planet Ocean GMT's book and make the GMT subtle, don't overburden the dial with all the GMT stuff and make it a shorthand. I hate shorthand GMTs. The Grand Seiko, I just don't like it. I like the long hand GMT, so the Tudor, the Rolex, even the Longines, the Spirit. That's what I like to see. Right, the Planet Ocean. So last year we got the Ultra Deep. Now the Ultra Deep was quite a chunky watch, but very wearable. It's a bit thick, so I think the thickness would put most people off, but the actual dial designs, the form factor, the downward shot, they're quite compact lug to lug. I think what I'd like to see is some of that design aesthetic get into the regular 43mm Planet Ocean. Now, a lot of people want to see a thinner Planet Ocean. I don't think that's going to be the case, and I think the release of the Speedmaster Racing, the Ultra Deep, there's no sign that Omega will do anything thinner. The only time they do that is when they make an automatic watch, a manual wind watch. And a manual wind dive watch ain't going to happen. So, things for the 43mm Planet Ocean. It'll have, I think, potentially some new colorways, some different dial designs, so that like the gradient dials that we've seen on the Ultra Deep. Maybe sharper edges to the case and bezel, that'd be nice. But also the bracelet. Now the bracelet on my Planet Ocean is nice, but it's a bit chunky, a bit heavy, so I tend to wear it on the rubber strap. Now the Ultra Deep, I think one of the most outstanding aspects of it is the bracelet. It's thinner, it tapers nicely, the clasp is slim, it still has the micro adjustment, quite a nice range of it as well. But I think it's superb, and I think if you could see that bracelet on a revised 43mm Planet Ocean, killer. But Omega, make the damn thing quick release, yeah? Now I was watching a video of the Longines Spirit GMT quick release bracelet. I mean, why not? Come on, make it happen. Anyway, right, Speedmaster. So do we need any more Speedmasters? So they're not likely to do anything with the professional, although it's a shame they didn't do the 50th anniversary of the last Man on the Moon at the end of last year, but they've missed that, so that's unlikely to happen. Maybe something in the reduced, so the 40mm Racing has gone. All we've got now is the 38mm, called them Ladies Speedmasters. I don't like the dates, the round window at the bottom of that dial, don't like it. So maybe something with the reduced. Maybe a CK2998 sort of style, similar to the watches we had a few years ago. They were pretty cool. It's too early for a first Omega in Space re-edition. 65 years next year since Wally Schirra went up in his Mercury rocket, so maybe next year for that one. And then finally, Dark Side of the Moon. So watch I really like. It's getting a bit too expensive for me now, but the Dark Side of the Moon is one of the few, call it professional watches that Omega have that isn't a coaxial master chronometer. So maybe that will get the spy rate regulation, master chronometer status, METAS. It's still a low volume watch, so it's still a good opportunity for Omega to try this new technology. So yeah, so that's my run on Omega. Right, so Rolex, the brand everyone loves to hate. And the first watch on the list is the Submariner, which is 70 years old this year. So 70 is typically celebrated with platinum. That's the traditional metal for 70 years. So will we see a platinum Submariner with a nice blue dial, maybe a sort of a chocolatey bezel insert, maybe. Will we see it with the regular Submariner or on the Submariner date? More likely on the regular, because the date was introduced years later. I think 1969, 68. But will we also see potentially a two-tone Submariner, like they've done with the Explorer, so a steel and gold standard Submariner? Normally the standard Submariner is just steel, that's it, black dial, that's all you get. But that's what we had on the Explorer for years and years and years and years. And then we had the steel and gold. So maybe we'll get a steel and gold Submariner as well. You never know. Don't think I'll buy. I do like the steel and gold date. Guilty pleasure of mine. One day, maybe. Now, we also have 70 years of the Explorer, or at least 70 years since Hillary and Chip Tenzing ascended Everest, with Tenzing wearing an Explorer prototype, I think. So I'm not too sure of the actual release date of the Explorer. Now, are they likely to do anything with that? I'm not sure, because the Explorer had a big show and tell last year. It had the two-tone, we had the new Explorer 2 release as well. Now, they could bring a new dial in, maybe a polar dial, and maybe expand the range. Maybe you will have a 36 Explorer and a 41 Explorer. Unlikely to go back to 39, but I guess with the Oyster Perpetuals being 36 and 41, why not expand the range? Maybe we'll get a lady size and a man size. We'll get the man size Explorer back. That would be pretty cool. I wonder if the dial size would be too big there for 41. Don't know. We'll see. Right, so then we get to the mighty Daytona. The Daytona, 60 years old. Now, yeah, the current model in its, I guess its guise, yeah, if you ignore the ceramic bezel, has been around for about 20 years, which is quite a long time, but it sells really well. It's a weightless watch, years and years, decades of weight, so there's no compulsion to replace it, but we'll see. I think that the biggest aspect for the Daytona this year is the fact that the endurance race Le Mans is 100 years old this year. Not the 100th race, but the first race was in 1923. So maybe there'll be a special winner's watch released for Le Mans. So Rolex have only been with Le Mans for about 20 years as title sponsor, but I don't think they'd pass upon the opportunity to celebrate the centenary of Le Mans. We'll see whether it will be a brand new model or whether they'll just dust off a bit of platinum, a bit of meteorite, a bit of this, a bit of that. They've got a massive back catalogue of unlimited combinations of metals and ceramics and dial materials. Who knows? We'll see. We'll get on to one of my favourites, the Milgauss. So the Milgauss on my list. Will I ever get this Milgauss? I'm not so sure. I don't think a new one's going to come anytime soon. Last time I inquired, the AD said that they're getting fewer and fewer allocations of Milgauss, which leads them to suggest that it's going to be discontinued this year. But will it be replaced? Will they put it in an Air King case with the crown guards like they did last year for the Air King? I don't think so, because the Milgauss isn't a sports watch, it's a technician's watch. They're more likely to use the Oyster case, so in either 36 or 41mm guys, than put it in a sports watch with straight edges and crown guards. I don't think they'd do that. Is 41mm too big? I don't know. But the thought of having a slightly slimmer Milgauss, still with the Z blue, with the green crystal, that'd be pretty cool. Does it need to be heavy? Does it need to have the iron cage in it? Maybe, because that gives it that differentiator, but does anybody care? We'll see. I don't know. I don't think they'll discontinue it, because I think it's too funky. It really fills a nice void in the otherwise boring lineup, so I think they'll keep it. Right, and that sort of leads to your opportunity to go and see all of this wonderful stuff at Watches and Wonders in Geneva. on the 1st and 2nd of April. So you can fly out to Geneva, go and stay in a really expensive hotel, because there are no cheap hotels over there. You can get there cheaply from most places in Europe, and for 70 Swiss francs each, you can go spend some time hanging out with the brands. I'd love to have done it this year, but it's probably going to be next year for me now. I need to plan ahead, because we've already got 2 trips planned this year already, proper his and her trips, now that the kids are grown up. So, and one of those sadly isn't to Geneva. Anyway, that was my little rundown of the potential releases of 2023. If you agree, let me know. If you disagree, let me know. If you think there's anything that you'd like to see, or that you know is going to happen, then drop a comment below. And whilst you're down there, go and check the link out, the single link that takes you to all of my pages. So the Amazon store, the merch store, Instagram, everything, the website. So go check that out. I've actually started to put some more articles on the website. It's glacial, but if I do a script now, I'm tending to put it on there. So if you want to read like the extended long form version of some of the things that I talk about, then they go on the website. When I do the video, I tend to edit them down to shorter versions, so there is a more unfiltered director's cut in words on the website, so please check that out. Anyway, I'm Andy, this has been the English Watch. Take care, and I'll see you soon. Bye for now.